My name's Tom Myerscough.
Tom?
Mm-hmm.
Spelling.
Is Myersc
RSC.
Ough. It's a very long last name. Yep. We are a social dance studio, so we teach any kind of dancing that's done in pairs. So we've got the ballroom category, which is things like foxtrot, waltz, tango. We have the Latin category, rumba, cha-cha, swing, and then also like country and western is available as well. But yeah, anything where there's two people dancing together, we teach. And we teach three different levels of dancing. So we've got social dance, which is for crowded floors. We have exhibition, which is for an audience, and we also teach competitive as well. So depending on what somebody's looking for.
Okay.
Here, anywhere from 40 to 90 will be on this floor at once. In a real social environment, it really depends. Wedding receptions will have 50 to 200 guests, half of which might get up onto the floor. But and then other ballroom events in the area, I've seen crowds of. The one event I was at, there was about 400 people, which was fascinating to try and get around. But yeah, it can vary. In this studio, we don't really take any students that are younger than 18, but there's no upper age limit. As long as you can stand with at least at most a little bit of support, like a teacher can hold you up a little bit, but if it requires too much support, physically we can't. But we are part of a franchise technically, so I guess the main difference would be that we have a set structure. So if you go to any other Fred Astaire studio, they'll teach you the same things, versus an independent studio in the area. If you went to another independent studio, they might have a completely different approach to teaching. They might have different steps, things like that. There's one other franchise dance studio in the area as well, and the main difference, it's in Waterloo. Yeah, it's Arthur Murray. It's right across from Waterloo Town Square. For us, we have a syllabus that's carried through all of the Fred Astaire studios. The same thing for them. They have one that's carried through all of the Arthur Murray studios. They are very different as far as the patterns go, but overall they're, I would imagine, relatively similar to what we do. Within the studio, we have a party every month. There's group lessons available 2 nights a week, depending on your ability level. Outside of the studio, we organize a gala once every 2 years. So this October is our next one. It's basically on our anniversary, the anniversary of the studio opening. So the 20th anniversary is this year. Beyond that, there are 2 competitions per year that are hosted by the organization, not specifically the studio. And then other than that, no, we don't really organize any external events. There are 4 full-time teachers and 1 manager that also teaches. There is also the studio franchisor who works here. She doesn't teach as much anymore. She used to. And then 2 receptionists. We have 2 new staff that are going to be potentially joining us very soon. But yeah, right now it's 4 main teachers. We count couples as 1 usually, and I would say our active student body is around 200 to 300, give or take. Between the 4 teachers, we're teaching every student at least once per week. So we have quite the... Singles do dance here, yeah. I would say about 15 to 25% of our student body is people learning on their own at any given time, in which case they dance directly with the instructor. I am one of the teachers, yeah. I'm one of the 4 full-time. And yeah, I teach about 40 lessons. I was a karaoke host before this.
What is it?
A karaoke host. I was a singer.
Okay.
I wasn't a dancer. All of my training came from here.
Okay.
So.
And
The initial training for a dance teacher within this studio specifically, I can't say for outside, but in here, I came in for an initial interview. They prefer to take on people that have had no dance experience because of a thing called muscle memory, which is basically that if you have ballet training, for instance, Latin dancing, what we teach is completely the opposite. So you have to make sure they don't have dance background. And then there's a 3-month very intensive training course, and that's every day, 1 to 4 hours, and then there's a test at the end of every week. If you fail the test, you're out of the training course. It's all volunteer, but basically at the end of the 3 months, if you've passed, then you make it through. It sounds scary, but it's one of the statistics I would say that I give a lot of my students, because they ask about our credentials a lot, and people don't know that we've had no dance experience. So I was one of 70. I was one of 70 that made it in. So,
Okay.
and I'm the only one out of my training class. So it, as one way of looking at it, it's hard. It's tricky. Past that point, I then have taken 4 teaching certifications, which is basically I set myself an amount of time for preparing for it. I have to learn the material for the test. And let's say for the second exam I took, there are 230 patterns to memorize that are anywhere from, I think the shortest pattern is 6 measures, the longest pattern is 12. I need to memorize all of them because the examiner could call on any one, and I don't know which ones she's going to ask for. And then, yeah, at the end of the certification, I get a certificate saying I can teach that level now. So, yeah, I was a singer, so I was in entertainment, and any other job I had was around training. Anytime I had a position, like I worked at a coffee shop, I worked at a call center, I've worked at many different types of jobs. Within a few months, I was always training other people. So this seemed like a logical combination of the two. Like I was in entertainment and I've trained, so now I'm teaching people in how to entertain themselves. So